Alright, so now that we have created our account, the next thing we want to do is be able to create a grid. So after you sign in, it will actually put you directly on your My Grids tab. And what you're going to do here is create grids that you can put topics in, that you can start asking questions and starting discussions with your class. So obviously we're going to click here where it says create new grid plus new grid. And then we're going to fill out this information with grid details. So your grid name is going to be basically like a unifying theme or idea, because you can have multiple topics inside of your grid. So this isn't strictly where you'll ask your question. This can be a group of questions or a group of activities that'll all be tied together. So I'm going to fill this out quickly. So I have quickly filled this out. My grid name is going to be using Flipgrid in the classroom, and then the purpose in this unit, we will explore uses for Flipgrid in the classroom. So you'll also notice this is optional. You don't have to have a grid purpose. The only things you have to have are the name, and then you'll also have a URL, and this is going to be where you share this information with your class. If we scroll down a little bit, we'll see the security and privacy settings. You have the option to password protect. This means you want to have your students insert a code before they can actually do responses. I like to leave mine open, but if you want to tweet these out or put them out and to share in other ways, you might want to lock it down with a password. Grid followers means that after you have students in and they are following your grid or they create something, they can get alerts for when new topics are created. So that means you've attached some students to your Flipgrid account, and they will get responses and information in their email. The next two options are about what your followers or guests are allowed to do with your Flipgrid. So they can, this is to allow them to be able to share links, and over here this will allow them to be able to download their video, and just their video after they've recorded it. Scrolling down a bit further, we'll see some more features. The Notify Me feature will let you know when somebody has added a video or response to the topics that you have created. And then transcripts. This one is experimental AI, but what it does is it will actually transpose the spoken vocal text into like typed text. So I've never used it, but if you want to try that. The next feature down here, active state, this will just like visible, so people will be able to see it on the Flipgrid website, or hidden means they won't be able to find it. You won't be able to share it with your links. So if you want to control when and how people can see it, that's the best way. Finally, at the bottom you have the customize tools. This is just to change the way that your grid is going to look when you share it out to people. You can upload a picture, or you can pick one of the ones that they have on here. So whatever you decide to do with all those features, after you pick what you'd like for it to look like, you can click the blue Create Grid button. And awesome, your grid is ready. So we've created our grid. Now we want to actually start asking questions and using it. And so we're going to click here where it says New Topic. And the New Topic page is where you'll actually start creating the learning activities. For the most part, these will be discussions that you'll use the Flipgrid tool to facilitate among your students. So the first part is just your topic details. This will be like what you're going to be discussing. You have options here of how long it can be. You can go up to 5 minutes or as few as 15. The default is 90 seconds or a minute and 30 seconds. The description box is where you'll just, I always type like a copy of the question, or basically a more succinct version of what I record. Then down here you have, again, if you want this to be active, visible, frozen meaning it can be seen but nobody can add anything to it, and then hidden where people cannot find it. And you can actually create times for when it will be open. So if I want this one to start today and be open forever, or I can create a cutoff time for this one, so you will have this week to be able to share it. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this out quickly and get my first topic. So I have now filled in all the pertinent details. I'm going to do a Flipgrid for formative assessment. I'm going to give them 90 seconds. The topic that we're going to be discussing, what are some ways that you can use Flipgrid for formative assessments? I have it scheduled. Now it's ready to go. I'm going to move down here to where it says topic resources. There's a variety of things you can add to your topic. The first is just to record a video. Next, you can upload a video if you have one on your computer. You can also just tie things in from YouTube or Vimeo. You can upload a picture instead. You can add a GIF from Giphy, or you can add emoji. I always just record a video, but you don't even have to record a video. These are all optional. But I always like to record a video because my students are going to be recording a video. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit the record video button, and you will see. Oh, let me get my camera going here. Hey everybody. Alright, so your options when you're recording here, you will have the big record button down here at the bottom. Whoa, my camera is losing it. Alright, you'll have the big record button down here at the bottom, and you're going to hit that button. You'll see it says you have 3 minutes here. You give you a little countdown. Hey everybody, it's Mr. Howard, and today we're talking formative assessments. I want to know, what are some things you can do with Flipgrid to formatively assess your students? You can also hit that pause button, and then you can kind of regather your thoughts and then start your recording again. You'll see it's going to just pick up from where I stopped. So I abuse this badly, but it makes your videos look less crazy if you like think of one thing you're going to say and then pause and then think of the next thing you're going to say. So take about 30 seconds and share some really cool formative assessment ideas you have with Flipgrid. Can't wait to see what you have to share. Thanks for sharing. All right, so I just like to take that time between and give myself some time to think about those questions. All right, so I'm going to hit this green button next. Hey everybody, it's Mr. Howard, and today we're talking. And obviously you get to preview your video. Formative assessments. I want to know, what are some things you can do with Flipgrid? And if I really like it, I can hit this green button. And now my video's done. Now the part you'll have a little fun with is taking your picture. So you'll take your picture, and then you get to goof around with all these kind of fun things. You can add little sticky images. You can draw on the top, kind of like Snapchats. And once I'm done, I'll close, and now I've added a topic resource that is my video. So that's just the start of it. You can add other attachments too if you have like discussion questions or a PDF or something that needs to go in here. You can also link to things like URL. You can do a lot of different external links, so if you see what your options are here. Again, this is optional. You don't have to include any of this. Next, you have your response features. These are basically self-explanatory. First, you have your selfie decorations. This means when kids take their picture, can they do the same thing that you did? I always leave all this stuff on. Can they give reactions with emoji on those videos that other people leave? For response links, are you going to let them add links to their videos? Or can they add other content? Can they share them to be public? Stuff like that. I won't go through all these, but the one that I will discuss is replies to responses. I always like to have this on because it creates a discussion, so kids can actually reply to their other responses. And then response moderation. So this might be if you have students that you think might take advantage of having open forum to say whatever they want on the internet. You might want to moderate and approve things that go through. Video views lets kids know how many times their video has been viewed, so if they go back and look at it, most of them probably won't care, but that could become competition. So if you want to have that not be on there, you can also flip that the other direction. Alright, so after you have created your video response as you want it, you'll have the option to do feedback. How do you want kids to give feedback? The basic feedback tool is performance and ideas, and you'll just rate those in 2 different areas. You also can go more in depth with custom feedback, meaning if you click that tool, you can go in here and add criteria, and you can get really super in depth with this. You can say vocal clarity, and you can type what that means. Then you can give scores from 1 to 10 and create basically your own custom versions of that. I typically just go with the basic feedback, but it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. You can get more in depth if you use custom feedback. Alright, so after you have gone through your topic and you've included all the information, we will just click the create topic button, and the first thing it's going to do is give you a grid code and some URLs, and we'll get to those in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and click got it. And now your topic is here, and you have created your first topic. So in the next episode, we will talk about sharing these topics out and getting your students to start submitting responses and having discussions with Flipgrid.